it means you have aspirations of being the best version of yourself. And what I mean by that is, like, you wake up in the morning and, you take care of yourself. You're going to shower, you're going to make your bed, you're going to make sure you get proper nutrition. You're going to show up to the rink early. You're going to prepare your body. You're going to get your mind ready. You're going to practice hard for 2 hours, most likely. You're going to do video that day. You're going to be in the gym. If you have academics, you're going to tackle the academic side of things. If you need to be in the community, you're going to be in the community that day. But more like what it means is, like, it means you're committed to being the best version of yourself ultimately, right? Like, it means that, like, you understand what we're trying to do for you. You're not questioning the commitment we're asking of you, because you trust that everything we do is in your best interest, and we're just trying to prepare you for the future.
Almost a completely new team in your eyes. What is the biggest difference between the two teams?
Well, like last year, we had a really mature group, and that's not taken away from this year, because I think maturity can come in different ways. But last year's group was a little bit older, of course. You had guys like Logan Howard, Zach Maxwell, Cole Saley, Hunter Price, Dom Payne, Cade Christensen, Eric Bruce, like some really older players that had been here for at least a year prior to last, and they understood what the environment should look like, what it needed to look like. They understood what the expectations were for the most part, and I felt like the way they managed games last year, like, although they probably weren't as skilled as the group this year, like, they managed hockey games really well. Their situational awareness was really good, and they won a lot of hockey games. Like, they did an incredible job of setting the tone for the organization and putting us in a place where this past summer, we were able to go and recruit some really good players. This year's group, younger, I'd say more mature or more advanced maybe in their skill sets. Still some learning and growing to do on the situational awareness stuff, but the group this year, what's different is we hired Coach Brennan, a month before the season started last year, and then we had a full off season. So, the GM and the coach were able to go through a full off season where we could recruit, the exact type of players that he was looking for, and so, those are some of the things that were different. But more than anything, if you look at the roster, the easy thing to point out is age. Last year we weren't the oldest team in the league. We were much older than we are this year, and this year's group, like, probably say a little bit more skilled, probably a little bit faster hockey team. But between the two, like, outside of the age, I would say, like, it was their maturity on the ice and the situational awareness. And our group's coming now. Like, they're coming. They're a bunch of young guys who are sponges, and they're soaking it all in. And I believe by the second half of the season, like, if they're not where we were at last year, then I would expect them to be maybe even further along.
6 Crusaders named to the NHL Central Scouting list in the last 2 years. Talk on the quality of hockey that's being played here in Sherwood Park.
Yeah, we've been really fortunate to recruit some good players, and help them get their name on the map. I think that's a credit to the coaching staff and the work that they've done with those players. Like, I think the one thing that they do really good is like, they understand the age of the player, what's on the line for the player. And there's, like, every player on the team has something on the line. There's no denying that. There's no, there's no, I guess, avoiding that. Like, it's really, like, it's inevitable. Everybody has something on the line, but I think what our coach does a really good job of is, like, I'll take this year's group, understanding that you have 17-year-olds like Cale Dock and Paul Anderson and Jeremy Larange, who are really advanced, and it'd be really easy to just put them on the back burner as 17-year-olds. But what he does is he realizes, like, that, hey, you know what, these guys, like, they have it, they're feeling it, they're going, and when they get hot, like, he rides the hot hand. When the young guys are going, like, he will play them and give them, the opportunity to really to really showcase themselves and put their names on the map. And like, you know, credit to the players, they've taken advantage of it in the last few years. You look at last year with Zaremba, Diego Johnson, you know, and Sachi at a young age last year. Like the three of them, like they played a lot early in the year, were able to get themselves onto, you know, Canada West. You know, all three have like moved on and done really good things. And then you reset to this year with our guys, and now you add Malachi McKinnon to the mix, who wasn't here from the very beginning. And I think that if he was, with the start that he's had with us, he's probably on that list as well. So again, credit to the coaching staff. Like, you know, they've done an excellent job of identifying and recognizing, you know, when a player is feeling it and is in a good rhythm, like he feeds them. He feeds them, and it's their job to take it and run with it. And, you know, credit to the players on that part. There's been no shortage of taking advantage of those opportunities.
And speaking of the coaching staff, 61 wins since Brendan Menard took over as head coach. So maybe how important has he been to the success the Crusaders have had these last 2 seasons?
It's been vital. As I mentioned before, the opportunity to go through an off season and recruit the type of players. I think, you know, what I mean by that is now coach and GM can work together. And you know, the reason why Brennan was hired in the first place is because I know we walk in lockstep and we share the same vision. I know we believe in the same things, and we want the same things from the organization, and we want to be known for the same things. So that makes it easy when you have, you know, the GM and the coaching staff on the same page, understanding what the vision is and how we're going to get there. You can stay patient, and I think that's the one thing that, like, we've done a really good job over the last few years, is just understanding that it is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time to build to get to where you want to go. And, you know, that's the one thing I would say it's something that I'm really proud of with the group is, as a staff, we've been patient. We've gone through the process. We haven't panicked. I don't know if we've ever had a situation where like we're sitting there, you know, with arms up in the air, like with, you know, thinking that we're in trouble. I think we've always faced adversity head on and have felt like it's probably really good for us, especially as a young staff. Like, you know, we're in our infancy, really, like as a group. So we've embraced all the challenges. I think we've done a really good job of staying even keel through the ups and downs. We haven't gotten too high. We haven't gotten too low. I know it's cliche, but it's just the truth. And, you know, going back to Coach Brennan, like, I see how hard he works every day. I see, you know, how early he is, how late he is. And I think the players, well, I know the players recognize that. They see it. You've heard it in interviews where guys have really, you know, thrown him a shout out with the way he thinks the game and sees the game. It's really different. And, you know, I can't stress enough, like when I'm around him and I watch him working with the players, like I get a sense of pride, and I'm really proud that we have a coach like that that's leading the way for us. And you know, I know he's never complacent. He's never content with what's going on. And if there's something going on, I can sleep at night knowing that, you know, our coaching staff is probably in the trenches trying to figure out the solution for the group.
And over a quarter of the way through the season, how have the Crusaders played based on the expectation levels coming into the season?
Yeah, like it's hard. Like the one thing I'll say is we certainly haven't underachieved with the expectations, and I'm hesitant to say that we've overachieved, because then I feel like I'm discrediting the group. But at the same time, like, we are the youngest team in the league by probably, you know, quite a bit, by a large margin. We have 12 17-year-olds on our team, 3 20-year-olds. It's not easy. And to be at 12-8 with, you know, at the 20 game mark is really impressive. If you would have asked me if we would have been 500 at that point, would you be happy? Yeah. If you'd asked me if we were 8-12 at that point, I'd have been happy, because I know that, like, I know everything we're doing right now is built towards a bigger picture, and there's a bigger plan in mind with it. It's a lot of work when you have a young group, and again, credit to our coaching staff and the work that they've done with them, and making sure that we're constantly teaching and we're on top of things with them and correcting them when they need to be corrected. It's vital to their growth. And then where the players get the credit is like they show up every day and they want to get at it. Like they want to work, they want to learn, and they're constantly seeking information, constantly wanting more and more and more. And when you have that, like, good things happen. And 12-8 in the first 20 games is a reflection of that.
Perfect. That's all we need. Thank you, Serge.